Like I ain't lived yet, so much up on my plate, so much weight on my chest, I bench press. I'll smile in your face, shake your hand, but just know I've been stressed. Just to cry for help, just in case you have any interest in my well-being. If not, that it is invisible. And even if it wasn't, they never asked what got into you. They brush it off, dismiss it, they wonder why you so cynical. I'm a troubled individual. I had bad habits way before I knew what the pen could do, causing more damage than the sword, so had to pick and choose. Always the type to bend the rules. Glad to say I graduated, couldn't always get to school. Mr.
What is up, YouTube people? I am back with another episode of For My Culture, and I am most definitely going back to a 2020 revisit, aka classic Kid Cudi's Man on the Moon 3 album review. Let's get into it. So first, Kid Cudi. I'm not really that big of a fan, but I most definitely have like projects in the past that I liked of his. It's really only two. I like Indie Cud, that was released back in 2013, and I also like the project that he did with Kanye West back in 2018, Kids See Ghost. Let me just get straight into it. We started off with Beautiful Trip. The beat was luscious. I really enjoyed it. It made me feel like I was on an acid trip, but it was just the fact that it was so luscious and the beat felt spacey. The one thing I can say about this album is the lyrics didn't pull me in at all, because like just based on production alone, the album is leagues ahead of its time. Like it's not nothing extremely different, but it basically was just doing what Kid Cudi does with his moans and his hummings and all that, just putting it into the music, and it glorified that and contrasted and put it all together, and it really made for a good vibe. So yeah, Beautiful Trip was good. The next song, Tequila Shots, Another Day. I can't remember which track. It felt like it like paced up a bit. I think it was Another Day. My fault. It was actually the track She Knows This. That's when it started to pick up a bit, and the beat started to pace up a bit, and that's when the flow of the album started to change up. I really did like that track. And in the middle of the beat, it did this thing where it sped up, Cello type thing. I really did like that. Then it went into dive, and this gave me Travis Scott feeling, and that's why I was like, okay, Travis Scott has most definitely been influenced by Kid Cudi heavily. Like that track really sounded like a Travis Scott song to me, and I still liked it. I mean, I'm not the biggest Travis Scott fan, but I did like that track. It was still classic, not classic, but it was still like newer Kid Cudi. I did like that. Damaged. I'm pretty sure in Kid Cudi's career, he's been going through some stuff, like from the fact he was battling mental illness back in 2017, I want to say. Yeah, he got admitted. Like he's been going through some stuff, and I can most definitely tell from the previous release that he had with Kanye, Kids See Ghost. That's how they was going through their like mental discrepancies, and I think that this was just like another byproduct of that. That track Damaged, I really did feel that. I felt it. I really did. Heaven on Earth, this track I really did enjoy as well. And then the album switched up completely, and it went to Show Out with Skepta and Pop Smoke. Now, I'm not the biggest Pop Smoke fan. I'm not the biggest Skepta fan. Although I would say whenever Skepta hops on a track, which he's been on previous albums that I've listened to in the past, that's always like one of my, I like that track. I never had a disappointment whenever Skepta's jumped on a track before. So he didn't disappoint me. Pop Smoke, with that beat, it seems like everybody's now trying to get into this drill type inspired production, and of course him having Pop Smoke on it, having a unreleased verse, I guess that it tied together well. So I still like that track, and I'm not the biggest drill fan either, but I did like what Kid Cudi did with that song. I really did. Pop Smoke, he added to it on the hook, even with his verse. I was like, okay, it's cool. So I like Show Out. Next, we went to Solo Dolo Part 3. Now, I have not been a fan of any of the previous Solo Dolos that Kid Cudi has released in the past. This is Part 3, and I got to say, even the Solo Dolo Part 2 with Kendrick back on the Indie Cud album in 2013, I didn't exactly like that. Sorry, Kendrick. I love Kendrick, but he wasn't enough to save it. But this track right here, Solo Dolo Part 3, I really like this one. This one fit the mood of the album. It didn't do too much. It didn't stray away from the mood of this. I really did like that track. Solo Dolo is like bumping. I really like it. And next it went to Sad People. Now, the only issue I had with this track was the fact that the title kind of misled me. Usually, based off the mood of this album, when I saw Sad People, I was like, this is gonna be my favorite track. I already know, because I like depression music. I really do. Depression music fills me with hope. I really like it. It's beautiful. People try their hardest. No, I don't even want to say that. Like, music is a lot more creative when it deals and it's circling around depression. So the title track kind of misled me. Now, at first, I didn't look at the track list when I was listening to it, but when I revisited and I saw the track was called Sad People, I was like, oh, okay. The track didn't give me sad depression vibes. It more felt like that Travis Scott feeling I was talking about on the previous track. But I still like the track. It fit the album. It wasn't one of my favorites, but it still fit the album. Next, it went to Elsie's Baby Boy Flashback. It started with this guitar sample, which I really did enjoy. I had to find the sample of it, and only to find out, well, no, I couldn't find the sample. I found the sample of like the boys talking at the beginning. It's from some old 1986 movie. But the guitar sample I like, and the way that the beat came in with it, I felt it. I really did feel it. And like I said, with Kid Cudi's lyrics on this, I didn't really pay attention because mostly I like the sound quality of this album. This album was great to me, majorly from the sound quality, like the heavy bass, the synths, all of it. Like, that was really my main attention towards this. So yeah, I did like the track still. I really did like the track. And my favorite track on this entire album is September 16th. Now, I was in the shower and I just heard this bass line and this mysterious this mysterious sound. And I was like, yo, like I turned into Kid Cudi. I was like humming. I was like, Like, I really, really love September 16th. And once again, I don't know what the content is about. I don't know what the song is talking about whatsoever. But September 16th, yes, sir. I told my boy JG, previous roommate, that was my favorite track. Like, I rewinded that track a lot. Like, it took me a lot to get to the next one. And the next track, The Void, I really like this track. It was cool. It was, like I said, it was coming straight off of September 16th, and I love September 16th so much that The Void kind of... No, it didn't... I won't even say that. It did not bring it down for me. The Void did not bring it down. I love The Void as well. Not as much as September 16th, but I love The Void. Next, it was like 3 tracks in a row, just straight, like, my favorites. Loving Me with Phoebe Bridgers. Now, when I saw the track list again, when it said Phoebe, I was like, is that Phoebe from Friends? Because, you know, she used to play with a little guitar and stuff like that. I was like, oh, this fucking Cudi got Phoebe. No, it wasn't Phoebe, but her vocals that she added to Kid Cudi's verse in the middle of it, that was very sweet and it felt apologetic. I really loved it. It grabbed me in. I really did love that track. I really did. Next, the Pale Moonlight. That track was cool. It was alright. Now, Rockstar Nights with fucking Trippie Redd. I didn't like this track compared to all the other songs on the album. Mainly because of Trippie Redd. I'm not a Trippie Redd fan at all. And it seems like whatever he touches, it's just like he's like a metamorphic piece of shit. Whatever he touches something, it will turn into shit as well. And that should be an X-Men power, as a matter of fact. I hope that somebody thinks of that in the upcoming comics. But yeah, I didn't really like that track. I think Kid Cudi did fine as well, you know, with his hymns and all that. But Trippie Redd, nah, they got to go. And the last 2 tracks, For the Kids and Lord I Know. For the Kids was alright, and Lord I Know was a perfect closing to this beautiful album. It really was. But yeah, this album right here, this is the reason that it made my top 10 last year. It was quality work. This is an album that Kid Cudi actually put together with all his like attention focused on it and gave us like a great piece of work. And I commend him on that. And I'm really looking forward for the next projects that he released. I think he said that this is the last Man on the Moon series. This made me want to go back to the previous Man on the Moons because I did not check them out. Like I said, I'm not the biggest Kid Cudi fan. Like I said, I'm gonna most definitely go back to this. I always go back to it. I'm lying to y'all. I go back to this a lot. Like every 3 days or so, I listen to this album. And the thing I also love about this album is the fact that it's not too long. Like Kid Cudi in the past has this thing where he likes to release 20+ track albums that's always over an hour for some reason. Like I'm like, hey bro, you need to like save some work or something. Like, are you gonna run out? No, like sometimes that ain't the mood. Long albums is not the mood. It's really not. It kills the mood, as a matter of fact. This was my reaction of the album. Tell me what you think about this album. Like, comment, subscribe in the comment section below. Subscribe, link in my Instagram bio, and yeah, peace out.
Guy who's just my type, like the way he's speaking, his confidence is peaking. Don't like
But just know I've been stressed, just to cry for help, just in case you have any interest in my well-being. If not, that it is invisible. And even if it wasn't, they never asked what got into you. They brush it off, dismiss it, they wonder why you so cynical. I'm a troubled individual. I had bad habits way before I knew what the pen could do, causing more damage than the swords who had to pick and choose. Always the type to bend the rules.